There are many animals on Earth that can be divided into predators that feed on other animals and herbivores that eat plants. Although, who would think that some plants could eat and hunt living creatures? And such a green predator had fallen into our hands. Meet the Venus flytrap, a plant that eats insects and spiders. It catches its victims with the help of specialized catching device formed from the edges of leaves that looks like huge and scary mouth with teeth. Inside of this mouth there are 6 trigger hairs. When the victim clinges to one of them inside the plant, a 20-second timer is triggered, and if the victim clinges the second hair during this time, the jaws are slammed and it's in a deadly trap. Like this caterpillar, it catches one hair and after a while it catches the other. The jaws closed. But the caterpillar is not that easy. It finds a gap between the teeth and squeezes outward until it closes completely. Yeah, it managed to escape the first time, but bad luck the second time. It was left in the mouth of a predator plant. But we still have many hungry mouths and other potential victims on the battlefield. The plants have a bright color and give off a pleasant smell for insects, so they always try to climb them, without even realizing that might be their last walk of their life. With each passing hour, the jaws will close harder and harder until the victim inside is smashed. When they're tightly closed, digestive juice begins to be released inside, which dissolves the soft tissues of insects, and this liquid is absorbed into the flour through the walls of a jaw. This way the plant replenishes its energy reserves and grows new traps. Look how cute this beetle is. Looks like it's smiling at the face of death. Although the predator plant doesn't care what it eats. But our beetle wasn't so easy to avoid the sad fate. This spider entered the flower and immediately froze, and must have felt something wrong, as if it understood that it stepped on a mine, having turned off a leg. On the second day, the jaws are filled with juice and as if glued around the perimeter, providing an airtight vessel and which victims will be digested for 10 days. But there are also insects that are not all in the teeth of our predator, like this huge muscular beetle. In addition to its large size and strength, it has excellent armor, which protects it from the predators. Maybe even many birds can handle it. Let's see if our predator can handle it. The bug boldly walks right into the jaws of our plant as if it knew that it's not in any danger. But clap, and it's like Van Damme bouncing over twine and settling the plant. But let's just say it's lucky. That's probably the second time a flytrap is gonna miss this chance. Jaws are closing and it seems to be an end. The bug is gone. But with its strong legs, it just squeezes its body through a trap and comes out quietly. Well done, of course, but not everyone is so lucky. This bug also wanted extreme adventure. It doesn't have much power, but its agility is fast. It easily slips away from the flower, leaving it with nothing. It's attracted by the smell of other jaws. For the moment it stops in them, And then the flake catcher doesn't miss his chance. The beetle stays halfway in the trap and halfway out. For some reason, it decides not to get out of trap but to sneak inside of it. After this, the plant digests the body of an insect. Squeezes it and sucks out of all juice. And only then it opens, revealing its victim's skeleton. To see if the flower can feed itself in the harsh conditions of our forest, we just put it in the middle of the forest. And when we returned a few hours later, we saw that some of our jaws were closed, and with a flashlight we could see that someone was sitting there, or lying. We wondered what would happen if we put food into the plant that wasn't familiar to it, like a piece of sausage. Or a candy? Let's get some Skittles. Okay, Skittles don't really fit. Let's take a Tic Tac like this, it's smaller. Okay, great, I think it swallowed. But somehow, overnight, it got the Skittles pulled. We were wondering what was going inside, and we opened a little those petals. It turned out that the flower had released its gastric juices to the candy, it dissolved into them and turned out some kind of porridge. Turns out the flower is also a sweet tooth. And from the thick layer, the flower only took its shell and immediately opened up. Then my friend brought a dead fish from his aquarium and we also fed it to the plant. The fish died on its own, so wouldn't think we did anything wrong. We had already showed anything we could in its mouth, but we hadn't put our finger in it. It's a little crazy, but I wondered what would happen. Oops! It doesn't hurt that much, or rather, nothing feels. But the pressure is felt. For a weak beetle, it must be very strong bite. As for what happened to the beetles that were absorbed by the flower, over time the mouth opened and we found the same obscure skeletons inside. We couldn't even always recognize what kind of beetle was there. And the mouth with the sausage still hasn't opened. If you like the video, we appreciate if you share with your friends on any social media. They will enjoy, and for us, it will be good motivation to do something interesting else.